Hey everybody, happy Friday. Thank you for tuning in today. I know it's been a few weeks since I've been able to go live. It's been a busy season with spring break and all that kind of stuff. So I had to take a little hiatus, but I'm back. And today I'm going to be discussing child support, and specifically I'm going to be discussing the child support worksheet and how to navigate your way through it. I intend to walk you through the process of creating a child support worksheet so that you will have a general idea of how much you should be paying in child support or how much you should be receiving in child support. So before we get started, I want to go ahead and introduce myself to you. My name is Attorney Joy Farrell. I am the managing attorney here at the Farrell firm. At our firm, we have a very strong focus on the area of family law litigation, and we have a secondary focus on personal injury cases. So if you have any personal injury cases, you can also contact us for that. I encourage you to head over to our website when I'm done with this broadcast, not now, to AtlantaCustodyLawyers.com, and you can find out more about myself and our team here, and you can just get general information. Some of our previous videos are also on the website, so you can check those out at any time. You can also find them on our YouTube page. So I am getting ready to go in. So if you could start sharing this broadcast with your friends so that they can tune in and kind of catch this live, because as most of you know, if you've tuned in before, I take your questions and I try to answer every question that's presented during the broadcast. So if you have a question that pertains to anything family law related, I will answer your question if I catch it live. Questions that are submitted after the live video, meaning after today, April 27th, we'll go back through periodically and answer them. Either myself or somebody from our office will answer those questions, okay? So let's get ready to go into child support worksheets. Now, I want to be honest and say that I am not thrilled to talk about child support. Every time I talk about child support, so many people try to come for me that I did not send for, okay? So I know that it is a controversial topic, but it is what it is. I am just the messenger, and I am sharing with you what the laws in Georgia are. If you have a problem with the way child support laws are set up, you need to contact your local state representative and get involved with the legislator as they amend these laws. Complaining and putting nasty comments on my page or YouTube is not going to get you anywhere. And I do respond to those. So please don't be rude when it comes to those things. So in getting going, this is the website I'm about to share with you. I know you probably can't copy it into your screen, but at georgiacourts.gov, there's a child support calculator, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. Okay. Okay, so let's pop over to the child support worksheet. Take notes. All right, so once you go to that website that you can click on, can y'all see me still? Because I don't know, somebody comment. Can you see me when I go to the page? Can y'all still see that? Let me keep going. Somebody text me or call me and let me know if you can. I'm just gonna be talking. I don't even know. So I'm gonna bounce back over to the screen. Okay, somebody said yes. Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, so when you go to that link, it's going to pull up a child support worksheet. And as you can see, my worksheet is called Mom versus Dad because that's who most child support cases are between. So when you get to this form, it's pretty much a plug and play. So I'm going to kind of go through. So most child support cases are brought in the Superior Court. You can pick the county that you live in. I'm going to pick DeKalb County since that's the county where our office is. Plaintiff, I put mom. Defendant, dad. Plaintiff is the person who's bringing the case. So if you're filing the case, that would be you. If somebody filed the case against you, then you would be the defendant. And wherever you file that case, you would put in the case number. I just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if it's a DHS case, which is the child support services, you'll put that case number here. But if you're doing this yourself, then that means you're probably not going through child support services. And right here on number 8, you're going to indicate if it's an initial action or a modification. If it's an initial action, that means there's no child support order pending for the current child or children that we're about to be putting in this worksheet. If it's a modification, that means there's already a court-ordered child support amount and you're trying to modify that child support. And I'm going to be talking about modifications on another Facebook Live coming up. So stay tuned for how to modify if you need to change that child support amount. If you do indicate that it's a modification, you want to put in the original date, and type it all the way out like that. Okay, so put the parent's name in, dad, mom, and let me just be clear. I'm putting dad and mom, but you write your real name. So I would put Joy Farrell as the parent. And then for my husband, I would put husband Farrell. I would put his entire name. And then here you select the non-custodial parent. So if the non-custodial parent is the parent that the child does not live with. So just for purposes of this video, I'm going to say dad. Okay. And then we're going to add children to the worksheet. So we add a child. I'm going to type baby boy. And let's say baby boy was born in 2010. And then we're going to say baby boy. And I already had baby girl in here. Oops, I must have twins. I put baby girl in 2010 too. So if you make a mistake like I just did, you can click edit or remove child from the worksheet. And so we're just going to edit baby boy because we didn't have him in 2010. We actually had him in 2009. Okay. So we're going to save that. And now we have girl and boy 2009, 2010. And you just keep adding however many kids you have. And only the kids that you have with the person that the case is with. If you have outside children, don't put those in this spot. They go somewhere else. Okay. So uninsured healthcare expenses. So these are your co-pays or your braces, things that typically aren't covered by an insurance policy. This is how you guys are going to split it. The standard is 50-50. What the law says is pro rata. So if dad earns 40% of the income and mom earns 60% of the income, the split would be 40-60. But for purposes of keeping this simple, I'm just going to put it in at 50-50. So once you have all that filled out, going to click down here and go to the gross income. So we're going to start talking about money. Okay. So gross income, and this sheet can walk you right through it. This is everything that the court will look at for gross income. Salary, commission, self-employment, bonuses, overtime pay, severance pay, recurring income from pensions and retirement plans, income from dividends, trust income, annuities, capital gains, disability, workers' comp, unemployment benefits, personal injury settlements, lottery winnings. Everything you see here can be put in as income. So the most common box is this first box, which is the salary. So let's say dad earns $50,000 per year. So you can just straight up type 50,000. And then right here, just click yearly. And it's going to change it to the monthly amount. And let's say mom makes $33,000 a year. We're just going to make it yearly. Boom. Okay, so that's the monthly amounts. And child support is based on your gross income, not your net income. If somebody is unemployed, then the number is $1,261.50. Okay, and we would be imputing that income. So imputed income goes down here in line 41. And if you use imputed income, you have to come down here and explain why. So if I say dad was unemployed, down here on line 41, I'm going to say dad is unemployed, but able to work and should be working. Or if it's mom is unemployed, but she need to get a job kind of thing or whatever. So you just put that in there. And so once you have this page filled out, you can move to the next page. But while I'm here, I just want to show you, so this is why it's good to have a lawyer, but there's other things we can do here. So let's say we have, like I said, dad earns $50,000. Well, let's say dad works overtime a lot. That's why he can't get the kids sometimes. So he makes on average another $950 per month in overtime. So we'll just type that $950 right there. Okay. And then we're going to go over to the next tab. Here, you'll put in the self-employment tax adjustment if you work for yourself or the other parent works for themselves. This adjustment is based on the tax form. So you click this little question mark. It's line 4 of Schedule SC of the federal income tax return. Okay, so if you work for yourself and you don't pay taxes, you don't get this adjustment. It's only for people who actually pay taxes. So you put that number in there that is on the actual tax document. So right here with adjustment for pre-existing child support order. So if you are a parent and you are paying child support for another child, this is where you put it in at, right here. People always bring this up. Well, I got to support my other kids. Okay. So if you're going to be using a pre-existing child support order, it is just that pre-existing. It has to already exist, a order, not an agreement between you and the other parent, but a legit court order saying that you have to pay child support, and you have to have paid that child support for a period of 12 months. You can't get credit if you don't pay your child support and if you haven't paid it consistently for 12 months. So if you have a child support order, we're going to add it right here. It's going to ask for the court name. I'm going to say DeKalb Superior Court, case number 789, whatever. Children's name, big boy, born in 2005. The date of the initial order, let's say you got put on child support in 2006. And the amount of the pre-existing order, let's say dad is paying $500 for baby number one. So we're going to save that child right there. And so that's how dad or mom gets credit for other child support orders that they're paying. Okay. Then we come down here and we can do an adjusted amount for qualified children living in the home. So this isn't a child you're paying child support for. This is like another child that is not an issue with this case. So let's say you're a mom and you have a baby by someone else and you're not receiving child support for that child. You can add in your other child in here so that you get appropriate credit for having to take care of this child without additional assistance. So you just answer these questions. Are you legally responsible for the child? Yes. Do they live with you? Yes. Are you actually supporting them? Yes. That child is not before the court on another matter. Yes. The child is not subject to a pre-existing order. Yes. And you put the child in big girl is what we're going to name her. And we're going to say she was born in 2007. And let's say mom is requesting that this child she gets credit for this child. Okay. And so if you're requesting this, you have to fill out line 45A or B. And here we're requesting it for mom. And so we're going to say mom has daughter and does not get any support from the father. And then we're going to click on over and go to the health insurance tab. The health insurance is the amount that you pay for the child, not your family plan, but the amount for the child. So let's say we have a family of 4. Let's say we have a mom, a dad, and 2 kids on a family plan, or like a mom, a stepdad, and 2 kids. And so in this worksheet, we're going to be talking about the 2 kids, baby boy and baby girl, that we put in this worksheet. So let's say $100 per month comes out of mom's check for the health insurance benefits. Well, we don't give mom a credit for $100. We take that $100 divided by the 4 people that are on the plan. So that'll be $25 per person. So it's 2 kids. So we're going to give mom a $50 credit. So you type that in right there. All right. Work-related childcare expenses for the children. So let's say your kids are in daycare or in after-school care. You put that in. So we're just going to add, I think our girl was the youngest. I can't remember. But let's say we got baby girl, and we're going to say mom pays after-school care. We look at the yearly amounts. Let's say she pays $100 per month, and there's 9 months in the school year. We're going to put $900 per school year that she's paying for after school care. And then in the summer, let's say she's paying $100 a week. So that would be $800 for the summer. Well, really, as I said, the school year is 900, so it'd be 1,200 in the summer. Okay. And if you have a daycare age child, it goes right here in the preschool age. So you just save that right there. Okay. Then we're going to head on over to the deviations tab. Deviation, here comes the true beauty of having a lawyer, because this is our opportunity to adjust these numbers however we kind of want to make them look. And so these are deviations. So you can do a low income deviation. If somebody is very low income and they can afford a lot of support, they can ask the court to reduce their child support amount to a very low amount. The statute says the child support at a minimum has to be $100 for the first child, and then at least $50 thereafter for the second child. So in this scenario with baby girl and baby boy, if we had a low income, at a minimum, the dad would have to pay $150 per month in this scenario. Okay, but we're not going to put anything right there. So specific and non-specific deviations, if you're trying to adjust those numbers some way, you just click this line here, and you'll see when you choose the deviation type, these are the different types of deviations that you can have. High income deviations, if the parents together earned a combined income of over $30,000 per month, we can deviate that worksheet higher than the amount says. You can get a deviation based on paying dental and vision insurance. If you pay a life insurance policy, you can get credit for that. Child care tax credit, visitation travel expenses. So if you live quite a distance from the other parent and you have to travel to see your child, you can request a discount or increase depending on who's doing the traveling for that. If you're paying the mortgage where the child lives, you can get a reduction based on that. And then down here is our little catch-all non-specific deviation. If we can't really find a reason, we can come up with a reason. Let's say you have a child who needs special medication or something like that. We'll put that in at non-specific and say, well, look, baby girl's medication costs, $215 per month, and I need more child support because of that special circumstance. We can throw that in right there. We would just need to explain it. And so whatever deviation we request, we have to explain to the court down here in these categories B, C, and D as to why the deviation would be appropriate. And then once you have all that in, you are ready to find out what your number is going to be. So then you would hit display worksheet results right here. Okay, so in this scenario, we look at line 9 first, which is the presumptive amount of child support. And then we look down to line 13, which is the final amount of child support, which is rounded up to the whole number. So based on the scenario, the facts I put in here, dad making $50,000, mom making $33,000, dad getting a credit for a previous child support order, and mom getting credit for another child that lives with her. Dad's monthly child support obligation is $1,139 per month. Mom's child support obligation, if dad were to have primary custody, would be $347 per month. And as you can see, there is the pro rata share here is 67, 34, 33 roughly. And so when you get those pro rata shares, depending on, which side you're on, you may want to go back in and make the adjustment on the first page about the pro rata shares, which is right here. So dad was at 60 something. I just put 60, 40. That's how they're going to split. And then we'll go back to displaying the worksheet results. And that's pretty much what it would be. That's what we would present to a court about the child support. So I'm going to bring that down. So it's just me again. So that is pretty much the child support worksheet. Now, I made it seem very simple, but there's a lot of ways per Georgia law that we can make those numbers go up or down. So when we represent the person that's going to be paying child support, we're going to be trying to bring those numbers down as far as we can legally. If we represent the person trying to get child support, we're obviously going to be trying to increase those numbers as much as we can legally. That's why it's important to have a lawyer who knows how to do that within the realms of the law. So if you have any questions, go ahead and type them. I don't think I see any questions. So I'll give you guys a second to ask any if you have them. While I'm waiting for you guys to type, just in case, we now have a podcast that is super cool. We've released season 1, or most of season 1. We've released 6 episodes, and you can find those on iTunes under Feral Firm Podcast. It's actually called Law Talk Live. But if you go to feralfirmpodcast.com, you can get all of our episodes there. If you want to join us on a podcast, if you have an opinion about something, or if you just want to discuss something, we welcome you to join us. We like to talk about hot topics that are going on. Like up next, I know we're going to be talking about Khloe Kardashian and her situation with her child's father. Jesse Williams just got joint custody of his children. Who else was I going to talk about? I lost my little sticky note, but there are a couple other good things that are going on that we're going to be talking about in our upcoming podcast. Sometimes we just talk about regular topics that people have heavy opinions about. So feel free, if you want to join us, just shoot me an email at info@feralfirm.com, and we can see if we can get you on the show. So I do have a question here, so I'm going to go ahead and pop it up on the screen. That's a big question. You can't even see me. Okay. Is it normal for a child support order to take longer than 6 months? I filed January 1st. Court date was February 2nd at the, okay, my screen bumped down because somebody commented. Oh, at the DCFCS office. He no-showed. They reset the date for May. He was never served, although I let him know he was in jail on Monday for a DUI. The caseworker responded and said he could be served. They never served him, so the court date moved to June 5th. In the meantime, the father has had no contact or giving anything. Is there a way to move the date up to ensure he gets served this time? Okay. Sharika, that is a good question and a very common concern. Unfortunately, when you go through the state, they're just overworked and have way too many cases to give you the kind of attention that you want for yours. So I wish there was a way that you can guarantee to get served. There is not. If you really want to kind of move it, you may want to consider filing a private action, with private lawyers like our firm. We can file it on your behalf if you don't get any leeway. The other downfall to using the state, and I encourage you to use the state agency if you don't have resources to hire a lawyer, but the other downside, so let's say your child's father, he doesn't work a regular W-2 job, he works under the table or gets cash. They're going to put him in the system in DOL, which is Department of Labor. And as soon as they see that he's not a W-2 employee, guess what? He goes in as unemployed. And unemployed income was, what did I tell you? $1,261 per month. So your child support going to be like this much. Okay, so you want to be mindful of that as you pursue it through that avenue. Okay, Terrence says, in this scenario with the 60-40 ratio, the dad would still pay the entire 1K, or would it be 60% of that number? Okay, that's a great question. So let me see if I still have my, let me pull the screen back up 1 second so we can talk about this. Okay. Okay, so when we look at this worksheet, Terrence, the total amount of these two numbers for mom and dad is what it takes to take care of the child. So his portion, this roughly 66%, actually the 1,100 is dad's portion. The other portion of that is 347, which is mom's portion. So no, he does not pay 60% of the 1,000. The 1,000 is actually his portion of the total amount that the worksheet is saying that it takes to provide for the care of the two children. There's two children in this scenario, and one has after school care, which slightly bumps up after school care and summer care, which slightly bumps up the worksheet amount. Claire says, should I get an out-of-state lawyer if my case is sent out of state because that's for the other parent's day? Yes, Claire. So you probably opened a case with Child Support Services here in Georgia, and because he doesn't live here, they transferred it to the state agency where he does live. And so the agency is going to handle it, but it won't be fast. It won't necessarily be efficient, but you can most certainly hire a lawyer there to kind of make sure your interests are protected. So even here in Georgia, if you file a case with Child Support Services, that doesn't mean you can't hire a lawyer. Child Support Services is there to basically represent the interests of the child. And so a lot of times we'll have a mom or dad hire us on a child support service case, and we can go in and make sure the numbers they're saying the child support should be are accurate. It may be too high, it may be too low. They may not have done any discovery requests to find out how much a person really makes. And so it's good sometimes to bring in your own lawyer to make sure that your interests are being represented. Okay. Okay, so if there's any more questions, go ahead and type them. If you want to come in for a consultation, you can give us a call at the phone number on the screen. That's 678-973-2803, or you can find us online at atlantacustodylawyers.com or farrellfirm.com. Either one will get you directly to us. Okay, I will be resuming these live videos. So if you have topics you would like me to discuss that I haven't discussed, feel free to send us a message on our Facebook page. If you send us a message on our Facebook page, we have 100% response rate per Facebook ranking. So we do not ignore people. So feel free to send a message. If you send a long message, we're going to give you a little bit of an answer, but the answer is always you're going to have to come and talk to us because we need more details before we can give you any specific legal advice. Okay, so I hope you guys found that information to be useful, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I will catch you next time.